Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to ISLA's Ramadan Connect 3.0. I'm Dr. Shaza Khan, and brother Mr. Yahya is going to be leading us through an orientation. We are so excited to have you all from all over the world, mashallah. Welcome, welcome. Please do keep yourselves muted until the question and answer, and feel free to use the chat only for things related to Ramadan Connect. You may go ahead and get started by introducing yourself, your name, the grade you're in, and the country that you are living in right now. And then we'll let Mr. Yahya go ahead and get started.
Okay, Jazakallah khair. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. We begin in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. We send peace and blessings upon the Prophet, his family, his followers, and all of us gathered here today on the special occasion of Ramadan Connect. And mashallah, I saw already in the chat, we have students from all over the world joining us. And we have now, I just checked again, actually more than 60 schools that have signed up here. So this is a very exciting opportunity to gather and to celebrate and grow together in our iman, inshallah, during this Ramadan together. So today I'd like to share with you a bit about Ramadan Connect, and then also give you a chance to ask some questions at the end. But you'll notice the first thing on here is a Quran recitation. And I'd like to call on two students. Of course, this is the month of the Quran, in which the Quran came down to the lower heavens. So it's a time that we really must immerse ourselves in Allah's book, inshallah. So by a raise of hand, I'd like to have someone recite Surah Al-Fatiha for us, and then someone else to recite Surah Al-Qadr. Okay, so go ahead and use the raise hand feature if you would like to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for us. And I saw first here, Yosef Walid, would you like to recite Surah Al-Fatiha for us? You can unmute and recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Yeah. Go ahead, Yosef. You can put on your video if you'd like.
What?
Or go ahead. I said if you'd like, you can put your video on, or you can leave it off. It's up to you.
And also let us know.
Yes. Yosef,
sorry,
wait.
Sorry, Yosef, to interrupt you. Sorry. Can you just introduce yourself? Like, what's your name? What grade are you in? And where are you calling from? And then please go ahead and get started with Surah Fatiha. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, that's okay. My name is Yusuf Walid, and I am from Egypt, and I'm the third grade. And I'm living now in Saudi Arabia. Okay, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Ameen. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Beautiful recitation. Okay, Nuran, you would like to recite? Wa alaikum assalam. Nuran, would you like to recite Surah Al-Qadr for us?
Yes.
First of all, tell us your name, your grade, and where you're from.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Nuran. I'm from 2C and I'm from Egypt.
Okay, MashaAllah.
الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Beautiful recitation, Nuran. MashaAllah. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much to everyone that did a recitation for us. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the purpose of Ramadan Connect. Now, I want to share a very brief story with you. And how this idea was born was now 3 years ago when I was in Saudi Arabia. And one of the teachers there decided he wanted to do what we called, when I was in school, pen pals. And that's writing to each other via a letter in the mail. And when we suggested this idea to the kids in grade 4 in Saudi Arabia, they had not heard of this before. And not only that, I think almost everyone in the class had never seen a stamp before. And I hope at least some of you know what a stamp is. That's how we used to send letters, and that's how we used to communicate before things like Zoom and Padlet and all this fun technology. But we decided that we'd love to do some type of exchange with Muslim students around the world. And then COVID hit. So we couldn't do the pen pal thing with sending things in the mail as easily. And so we decided, let's try to do something online, but still the idea of a global exchange. And we thought, what better time than Ramadan to do this? And around the same time, I had read an article, which I put here on the screen, and it's by someone named Sheikh Omar. I think it went, maybe I lost it here. Let's see, can the screen go back? Oh, nope. Now I've lost it all. There we go. So this is the quote here, and this is from Dr. Omar Farouk. He wrote this in an article. He said, in history, Islam showed itself to be culturally friendly, and in that regard has been likened to a crystal clear river. Its waters, Islam, are pure, sweet, and life-giving, but having no color of their own, reflect the bedrock, the culture over which they flow. And I remember reading that several times. I thought it's so beautiful because look, we're from all over the world, and yet we're each following the message of Islam. We're following the book of Allah, the Quran, and the Hadith of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. But in each of these countries, we have diversity. We have different languages, different colors of skin, different clothes, different food. And a lot of that comes out during the time of Ramadan and Eid, especially, where we see all this diversity in architecture and mosques. And it's a really beautiful thing. And it's one of the things that Allah tells us in the Quran, to look at the signs of languages, of colors of skin. And the other beautiful part, though, is not one is better than the other. We know that we're judged rather on our taqwa, our consciousness, our closeness, our awareness of Allah, not on the color of our skin or our family name or our social status. It's based on our taqwa. And so out of these two experiences, reading this article, and then the experience I had in Saudi Arabia, Ramadan Connect was started 3 years ago. And ISLA, which Dr. Shaza and I are both part of, we decided that we will sponsor this and we will try to get as many schools as we can. And I will tell you that first year, Dr. Shaza knows, I sent out emails, maybe 50 or 100 to all of the Islamic schools I could find. I heard back from a number of them, including one small school in Ireland. And I'm hoping they'll still join us, maybe this year or next year, but there's a small Islamic school in Ireland. And that always is one of my favorite stories to tell, because I had no idea there were Muslim schools and Islamic schools in Ireland. But that's the beauty of our deen, of Islam. It is everywhere in the world, every corner of the globe. And the idea of Ramadan Connect is to come together and share the beauty of the diversity that's present in the religion of Islam. And so during this time together, this month, we'll talk about some of the activities, but it's to get to know each other, to learn about each other, and of course, to get closer to Allah, which is the purpose of this month of Ramadan. And our fasting, and our worship, and our reading and memorizing and understanding of the Quran. And I hope that we can go on that journey together, inshallah. Okay, so I would like to go back to the slides here. Now I'm at the activities overview, okay? So each week we'll have some theme and some reflection. Now the first week we call week 0, which we're actually in week 1, but that's about intentionality and setting goals. So already on the Padlet, I saw some of you have posted your goals. And if you haven't, you can do it in the next day or two. Set your at least 3 goals for this month of Ramadan, inshallah. Okay. And then
Mr. Yahya, sorry to interrupt you. What is a goal, Mr. Yahya? Like what's a goal?
Very good question. Very good question. And you can read the article in there, but it's something that you're hoping to achieve this Ramadan. So some aim you have. Maybe it's to read the 30 Jews. Maybe it's like me to pray tahajjud every morning. So it's something that hopefully will help you go closer to Allah that you want to accomplish. But it should be specific. This is important. You can't just say, I want to read more Quran. Well, Be specific so that you can measure it. Maybe you want to read 15 Jews during this month. So I put in there an article that will help you called Making a Smart Goal. Something that's specific, you can measure it, attainable, meaning you can reach it, it's realistic, and it's timely, it's within this month. And this is a skill that will benefit you throughout your life, inshallah, okay, of setting good goals. So I look forward to reading your goals on there. You could try to post at least 3 of them. And we put some examples too. Okay, thank you for that question. Let's see. Oops, did I lose my slide again here? There we go. Okay, so week 1, we're going to talk about initiative, and these may be some new words for you too, but we'll put a helpful reflection and explanation of what do we mean by each of these themes. Okay, so week 1, which is this week, we'll be looking at initiative. Week 2 will be gratefulness, gratitude. You probably heard that word before, thankfulness. Week 3 will be looking at consistency. And we know that Allah loves the actions that are done consistently, even if they're small. So part of Ramadan Connect too is building up these good habits that we can carry on after the month of Ramadan. Okay, after the month of Ramadan. We want to keep our iman going up a step and maintaining that as we go through the month, okay, and beyond. And then in week 4, we'll be talking about generosity, which of course is a very important part of Islam, of doing charity work, of sadaqah, and of the zakat. All of that has to do with generosity. So those are our activity overview, and each week we'll be posted on the Padlet, and there'll be some way for you to engage and interact with other students too, inshallah. Dr. Shaza, did I leave anything out there for the activity overview?
This sounds really good to me, Mr. Yahya. I think that inshallah, what we want to say is that there might be more activities that come up. So teachers, keep an eye on your email, inshallah, email from Brother Yahya or myself or Islamic Schools of America, so that we can let you know about anything else that is happening.
Inshallah. We'll hold the questions until the end. So just keep it in your mind, or you can even put it in the chat if you think you'll lose it. Okay.
And
but
Mr. Yahya, just to let you all know, I have disabled the chat. Just if you do have a question though, you can still chat with me. So go ahead and post that question there. I know that it was distracting some friends of ours here in the group. So we went ahead and closed that chat, but you can still chat with me if you have a specific question you want us to answer before the end of this session.
Very good, inshallah. Okay, so next we'll talk about the story writing contest. And Dr. Shaza, I'll let you talk about this exciting part of Ramadan Connect this year.
All right, guys. So this is something we are so excited about. Alhamdulillah, last year we also had a story writing contest, but we did not have as many students as we have today. So mashallah, last year we still had 20, 30 schools from all over the world participating. But this year, as Mr. Yahya stated, we have 60 different students, mashallah, 60 different schools, mashallah, from all over the world. So we're really excited about seeing all of your original work. We will be sending out more details, including a rubric, which is a way that we're going to grade and judge your submissions. And anyone of you who want to participate in this are able to do so. You are going to be able to choose from 4 different prompts, 4 different themes that are related to the themes that Mr. Yahya just went over. And you can write a story that's between 250 and 750 words. An original story. Original means something you thought of, the characters, the idea, the problem, the solution. It can be based off of your own life. It can be fiction, meaning fake, or nonfiction, meaning true. And so you have all of this creative ability to spend into developing this story related to one of the story prompts that we have. And we'll be sending that and posting it on the Padlet for you. And guess what? What's really exciting is that the winners of this contest will have their story. Wa alaikum assalam. The winners of this story will have the winners of this contest will have their story made into an animated short. An animated short, what is that? It's like a cartoon. It's so cool. And that is going to be done by Muslim Kids TV. We're going to have a couple of workshops, as Mr. Yahya might have mentioned. One is coming up this Sunday and one's coming up next Sunday to help you learn how to write a really good story and for you to learn how do stories get created into cartoons so that you know what will happen, inshallah, if yours gets selected as a winner. So keep an eye out for that information coming, inshallah, this week and next week on the Padlet. We're so excited to read your stories and to be able to announce the winners, inshallah, and have those winners made into cartoons, inshallah. Okay, that's it from me, Mr. Yahya. And if you have any questions, yeah, the story is in English because we are requesting that it be written in English because the judges are going to be English speaking and reading individuals. And so that is something that is a requirement of this story. It is optional. Everything somebody messaged me and said, is the story writing contest optional or do we all have to do it? Look, if your teacher tells you that you have to do it, then you have to do it. But from us, everything that we're asking you to do, it's optional. If you want to do it, then do it. Send it in. Let your creative juices run, inshallah. But if it's something that's really hard, you've got a lot of other things, and it's something that your teacher's not making into an assignment, then it's okay. You don't have to do it.
Okay, great. Yes, this is very exciting. And I encourage you to check out Muslim Kids TV too. I've been watching some of the episodes and looking at the ebooks and a lot of really wonderful stuff on Muslim Kids TV. So let me show you now the timeline of events, and you'll have a link to this in the Padlet. So Dr. Shaza mentioned that we have something coming up this weekend, which we do both Saturday and Sunday. So we have also the exciting part of this Ramadan Connect is our author visits and read alouds. So we're going to have a read aloud this Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. And that's going to be a wonderful story called The Gift of Our World, A Little Muslim's Guide to Loving and Caring for Planet Earth. And that really speaks to our role as Khalifa Allah, of caretakers, of the vicegerents on earth here, stewards of Allah's creation. So we're going to have that read aloud, and that will help inspire us too from real Muslim authors. Okay. And then on Sunday, that'll be our first workshop with Dr. Fauzia, who is an award-winning, mashallah, children's author. And she was with us last year for the story writing contest. And I saw we even have some members here that participated last year in that event as well. So we're going to have that on Sunday. And that will help prepare you for the story writing contest as well. Okay, and then we have in week 3, we're going to have another author visit, and we'll have another workshop from Muslim Kids TV with Sister Flor de Lisa. In week 4, we're going to have a story called Baraka Bite. That was Sister Arifa. And week 3 is with Sister Sabira. Okay, and then week 5, which will come quicker than we know, is going to be Eid, and we'll have a story called Eid Empanadas. And I think we probably all love empanadas. At least I do, if you've ever had one. Okay, so that's going to be the timeline. You have the links there to register, and you can view the recordings as well if you're not able to attend live. Okay, excellent. So that link has been put in the chat here, and you can click on that so you have it easily accessible. Okay, so that is our timeline of exciting events. And now it's time for our question and answer here. So we have a little bit of time, and then we'll close also. Whoops. We'll close also with a recitation of Surah Al-Asr. Okay,
Thank you,
so
Mr. Yahya.
yes, over
Mr.
to you.
Yahya, I had a lot of questions sent to me from students about the story writing contest. So if I can, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So
Yes.
that will disable yours. So just a minute. I've got it up, I think. Okay, I can't find it right now. Of course you can't find it when you need to find it. All right, I'll let you guys ask questions in the chat, or if you want to ask your question out loud, you can go ahead and raise your hand. I see, so we renamed some of you to student. I'm going to go ahead and press ask to unmute if you have been selected. So I pressed ask to unmute for the student who has their hand raised. Go ahead and ask your question. Oh, if you're speaking to us, we can't hear you.
You need to click unmute. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Let us know your name and where you're calling from too before you go. Student?
Oh, maybe they're not.
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
Sorry, what are you saying?
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
MashaAllah. Marhaba. What's your question, Abdullah?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. All right, then you can mute yourself again. Sorry. Who has a question here? All right, we've got lots of people named Student. So Student, I've pressed a button.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead. Assalamu alaikum. What's your name? Where are you calling from? And what's your
My-
question?
My name is Karam, and I have my question is, how do we enter the contest?
Very good question, Karam. Okay, Karam, can I ask you to, assalamu alaikum. Okay, can I ask you to mute again? Thank you for asking your question. I've got my document here. So we've got, this will be shared with you online, inshallah, on the Padlet, and we'll send it to your teachers too.
How
And
is
so you're going to have an email address that you're going to be sending it to. We're going to tell you the email address right now. We have it over here. We might change this email address. When we send it, we'll have the final email address, and you're going to send it. You can put it into the email. Make sure that it meets the word limit and it follows all of the criteria, meaning it's an original story. So somebody messaged me saying, I'm going to write a story about Harry Potter. Nope, that's not one of the contest topics. The topics are going to be, you can choose from one of these 4 topics. Tell us about a Ramadan when you took initiative. And then we tell you, what does initiative mean? And we're going to talk about this on the Padlet too. Initiative means something you did by yourself. So think about that. Gratefulness is another topic you could write about. Tell us about a time in Ramadan when you were grateful. Or you could choose the topic about consistency. Tell us about a time in Ramadan when you were consistent. Or you could choose generosity. Tell us about a time in Ramadan when you were generous. This means you gave something valuable to someone. You did something that was not selfish, and so on and so forth. So we'll share this with you, and we hope that your teachers will also share with you this information, but you're able to talk to us on the Padlet, inshallah, and ask us questions, and we'll inshallah be answering them. We'll also have these live events if they meet and suit your time zone. We hope that you join us for the teacher, for the reader, for the author read alouds, and for the workshop this Sunday and next Sunday. I hope that answers your question. Okay. So
which time is the Zoom meeting for the winners and the announcement gonna come?
this is such a good question, Sarah. And Sarah, you're calling from Palestine?
No, I'm from Palestine, but I live in UAE.
MashaAllah, mashallah. I'm so happy to have you here, Sarah. Sarah, we will share with you the information about the award ceremony, and we're really excited. It's going to be after Ramadan because we need time to judge your contests, and then Muslim Kids TV needs time to make the winning submissions into the cartoons, into the animated shorts. So it'll probably be by the end of May, and we'll send you and your teachers that information on the Padlet, on email, and you'll be able to register. So we don't have it set yet, the exact date and time for sure. But you know, Miss Valentina shared a link here for the spreadsheet of events, and I think that that has like the approximate date, the date that we hope to have it. So you can click on this link. I'll put it here again. And you can click on this link and it tells you about all the dates and times of all of our events. But remember, those times are for, they're based on the United States in the central time zone. So you want to use something on Google or on the website where online where you can figure out what is your time zone. So for some of you, what is listed as Sunday might actually be on Monday, like if you're in Australia or further east from the US.
It's me?
Okay, Dr.
Okay,
Shaza, we're
thank
just
you.
about out of time here. What I'll mention too is that you'll find in the
I have one
Padlet.
question.
Wait one moment, please, everyone. You'll have a chance to post questions even in the Padlet too. I can put a tab in there for questions. And the link will be shared in the chat here. If you haven't received it yet, you should receive it from your teacher, or you can click now. It's open for posting your introduction and your goal setting. So that is available now, and we'll have that open for week 1, 2. And inshallah, you can all post on there, and then you can read and respond to each other too, because that's part of Ramadan Connect, is getting to know about each other. Okay. And any other information you'll receive in an email, if it's from your teacher, or on the Padlet is where we'll communicate a lot of the updates to you. Okay, so it's about time here, and I'll tell you what, here in Dubai, it's time for Isha and then the Taraweeh prayers. So if you have any other questions, you can let your teacher know, who can pass them on, or you can post them directly on the Padlet, and I'll add a tab there for questions, okay? So I would like to have a student close our session with Surah Al-Asr. If I can have someone raise a hand, and I see, how about Sareen in grade 2C? Can we have you recite Surah Al-Asr in closing for us? Sareen, can we unmute Sareen, Dr. Shaza? You have to click unmute, Sareen.
Shireen, do you see the button to unmute? There you go.
I actually raised my hand to ask a question.
Okay. Well, are you willing to do Surah Al-Asr instead of your question, or is it an urgent question?
Well, it's not really an urgent question.
Okay, go ahead, ask it, no problem. What is the question?
How do we enter and when?
Okay,
Good
I'll put
question.
all, yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead, Sister
Yeah,
Shaza.
we'll be putting all the information on Padlet. So if any of you have a question remaining about the story writing contest, I'm so happy to hear your questions. That means you're excited. But
Yeah.
we'll put
One
those
question.
answers on the Padlet, inshallah. Right now, and I see Junaid, brother Junaid Malik's whole classroom, mashallah. Assalamu
Oh,
alaikum.
mashallah.
So exciting.
MashaAllah, let's add to the classroom. Yeah, there they are. Maybe we can have someone recite the Surah Asr from.
I have one question. I have one question.
We'll hold the questions now, and you can put those on the Padlet, okay? But let's see if we can have someone from Junaid Malik's room maybe recite for us Surah Al-Asr. Or if you want to do a collective
Maybe the whole
recitation.
class can recite it. I press the button for ask to unmute.
Let's see
And
if we
tell
can
us
get-
where you're from, you guys. Where are you calling in from?
Yes, let's see. Oh, they're all clapping. We
You're
can
still
hear 'em laugh.
muted though.
Yeah, let's see if we can get Junaid Malik's class unmuted. One of you will have to click there. I see someone standing up. Yeah, you'll have to unmute, and then you can. There we go. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Just 1 minute, sorry.
So where are you guys calling from?
I'm here. We're calling from the USA in Baltimore, Maryland.
Mashallah, mashallah. Mabruk, welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right, are we ready for as a class to recite Surah Al-Asr?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You know what, Mr. Yahya, I'm going to be a little silly, but I'm going to say anyone who wants to recite, let's unmute and I'll recite together.
Should we try doing it all together? Try some experiment here.
Let's just
Okay.
do it. Bismillah.
let's see.
Okay.
Okay.
A'udhu billahi. Who's going to Junaid Malik's class can lead us? Go ahead.
إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا
Jazakallah khairan. Thank you all so much for the wonderful concluding Surah Al-Asr recitation. Brother Yahya, I'll let you close this out. And this was so
Okay,
fun.
Jazakallah khair, everyone. Thank you so
Can I
much.
ask one
I'll just
question?
close our session
Ask one
with the way
question.
that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to close his meetings, which is the majlis, the dua of the majlis. So he would recite this dua: Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika
Subhanakallahumma.
ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.
Excuse me, I have one question.
Sorry, Mr. Yahya, I muted you by mistake.
No problem,
Thank
no
you
problem.
so much.
I have one question.
Okay, I can stay for 1 minute for 2 more questions, inshallah. Brother Yahya, I know you've got
Okay,
prayer.
I have one question. I
Text
have
the
one
prayer,
question.
and I will see you all on the Padlet.
Okay,
inshallah.
assalamu alaikum, Mr. Yahya.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Yes, student.
Wa
what's your
alaikum assalam.
question?
Can I have a question? Can I
Yes.
answer? Okay. Can I write a story like this about like what